what should you check? Some random guy called a mutual fund broker comes and shows you that there is a mutual fund, there is attractive investment opportunity, are ready to invest. The first thing you should ask is, okay, fine, this is what kind of fund, what is the type of fund, fine, what is today's NAV? What is NAV? Net assets value. So NAV is nothing but, as you see stocks prices at stock markets changing every day. Similarly is an NAV for a mutual fund unit. It is the price of one unit of a mutual fund. That is your net assets value, NAV of mutual fund. Why you should consider this? Why this is important? Because you start investing today. Let's say you start investing by 1,000 rupees per month. You give 1,000 rupees money to the mutual fund manager. That guy takes to asset management company, gives the money to the asset management company. That company will invest your 100 rupees and gives back you the units based on the NAV of that particular day. Let's say the NAV is 100. Then you are going to get 10 units in return from that mutual fund company. But if the NAV is, let's say, 10, only 10 rupees, then you are going to get 100 units if you invest 1,000 rupees. So lower the NAV, higher the number of units you will be getting. So in future, if the NAV increases, your returns will also increase. So whenever you decide to invest bulk in a mutual fund, try to invest in a day where it is in the weekly low or monthly low. When you invest that point of time, when it comes back to normal, you'll be generating an attractive return. So the first thing you should ask is, what is the NAV on that day which you're going to invest? Second, fund size. Fund size is nothing but how much is the money totally managed by the mutual fund manager. The fund size generally starts from 100 crores to, there are funds which are the size of 20,000 crores, 30,000 crores. That much amount the manager will be managing. He'll be investing the 30,000 crores in different securities, different stocks, different bonds. So how does this affect your decision? If the fund size is more, the fund is little more reliable. Why it is little more reliable? Because for people who know the concept of economies of scale. What is the concept of economies of scale? Economies of scale means as your production increases or the volume increases, your borrowing power and your cost comes down. Sorry, bargaining power and cost comes down. Sorry, bargaining power goes high, cost comes down. So if the fund size is very high, the fund manager can bargain more and invest in a more profitable manner. Your overall cost will be less. So that is and for a fund size which is of 30,000 crores, do you think the mutual fund company will appoint a fund manager who is a Tom, Dick and Harry? No. They'll seek for the best talent available and and employ a fund manager with a vast and varied experience combined with a very good qualification. So the fund size is definitely a criteria you should consider. Next, entry load and exit load. See, entry load, entry load load is a penalty basically, or a fees charged by the mutual fund company or AMC. When is this fee charged? This is charged when you start investing or you sell your holdings in a unit. Most of the AMC doesn't charge any entry load. You can buy any fund without any cost. 1,000 rupees invest, you get units back for all 1,000 rupees. But there is exit load in few types of funds, so you should be careful whether there is any exit load. So what the exit load is basically is, it gives you a lock-in period. So you invest your money for next 7 days. If you sell, then exit load will be charged at 1.5%. So your returns is going to come down. So you should definitely consider whether there is any exit load or entry load in the fund which you are going to invest before investing. Next, age of the fund. What is the age of the fund? Means how many years the fund has been in existence. Why that is crucial? Because as many years the fund has been in existence, the fund might have crossed multiple market corrections. For people who don't know what is a market correction, I mean the time where the market hits the low and rises back and comes to normality. That is a market correction. So the fund might have crossed many market corrections if the age of fund is more. You can see whether how has the fund generated returns during that some point of time during the market correction. So to assess the performance of a fund, let's say in 2008 there was a market correction. So you can go to 2008 and check how the fund has performed, how much returns the fund has generated in the year 2008, 9 and 10. That will tell you the performance of the fund. That is how age of the fund is crucial. Historical CAGR. CAGR is nothing but compounded annualized growth rate, or the returns, average, in simple terms, average returns the fund is generating. So over the period of life of the fund, how much return the fund has generated, annualized returns. So these annualized returns will differ every day. Okay, so you have to see the annualized returns of every month, and this will be given as, let's say, 1 year CAGR, 2 year CAGR, or 1 year average returns, 2 year average returns, 3 year average returns, 5 year average returns, and 10 year average returns. Okay, so you should consider all that and compare that with the time horizon you are planning to invest. Let's say I am investing for next 5 years. Then you should see 5 years CAGR, 5 years average returns. If that is okay for you, if it is attractive for you, then you might decide to invest in that fund for next 5 years. Because past performance is an indicative of future performance to some extent. I mean, you cannot completely tell only by the past performance, but yeah, to some extent you can tell past performance is an indicator because it shows the experience of the manager. Okay, so to some extent, let's say 30% or 40%, the historical performance matters. Fine. Next, comparison with index funds or index performance. You can compare your mutual funds performance with how the Nifty or Sensex has performed, how much returns the Nifty or Sensex has generated you. By comparing that, what you'll be getting? You will be getting the information about whether your mutual fund has outperformed the index funds or the index funds has outperformed your mutual fund, the fund you are comparing. So if the index funds has outperformed your mutual fund, then your mutual fund that which you are checking has not done that great. You might go for index funds itself. Or if your mutual fund has consistently outperformed all the index funds, then your mutual fund is great to go. By comparing that, you can come to a conclusion about the performance of your mutual fund. Last, I mean, normally this is what you should see, major item you should check definitely before investing. Expense ratio, which includes your fund management fee, administrative expenses, all put together. It's called the expense ratio. It is normally between, as I said earlier, 0.5 to 2%. This definitely matters because whatever is spent, whatever is made expense is your money, the returns from the money you have invested. So you should invest in a fund which has a lower expense ratio. But mostly when a fund is more experienced, which is a great fund manager and generating a great returns, the fund will have a little more expense ratio. That's fine. But generally, as thumb rule, you can prefer a fund which has a lower expense ratio so that you can get most of your returns to your hands. The mutual fund company doesn't eat up your returns. Okay. This is only for disclaimer, this is only for finance nerds. Okay. So you can also check these factors, and I'm not going to detail them. explanation for these factors, but I'll just mention you these factors so that if you are a finance nerd, find out what it is and check for whatever the fund you are investing. Portfolio turnover, I guess I've mentioned it at many places. Portfolio turnover is a frequency of changes in holdings. So portfolio turnover, you can check the portfolio turnover of funds, because the funds which is frequently changes its holding might generate because it is a more adaptive fund. It adapts to the current situation, changes its holdings. So it's a more adaptive fund. You might prefer a more adaptive fund to a less dynamic fund. You can check your portfolio turnover. Standard deviation. From the average returns, what is the deviation? Sharpe's index, Treynors index, coefficient of variation, beta, which is in comparison with market beta, obviously you know, Jensen's alpha, and the portfolio of investment. Means you go for a fund, you can go into the details. Okay, you go to moneycontrol.com, you go to any other major, the biggest website available out there is moneycontrol.com. You can check in ET Money. There are many other online platforms which shows you all details. The SID, scheme information document of many mutual funds. One of which is Money Control, which I frequently use. So in that you can go and check the portfolio of your mutual funds. I mean, you can go and check in which company your fund manager has invested the money. I mean, invested your money. And based on the company selection, you can decide, okay, fine, these are very good companies. These are not so good companies. I can choose this fund. I can choose this fund. So you can find out the companies which the fund manager has invested and decide based on that. These are the other factors which you might also consider before before putting your money in any mutual fund.